everybody, this is Frilioth and welcome to another Minecraft Villager Breeder tutorial. Right, you may be familiar with this concept, this design that I've been working with now for quite a while, and it's a Villager Breeder. It's a bog standard Villager Breeder monopod thing with a switch on it. Now, basically, what the switch does is it validates these doors at the top. I'll flick that lever there. That pushes up that block there, which validates all of those doors, which turns this into a village. So these guys down there can start breeding. And this is how it works. Flick the switch, up goes the block, validates the doors, and it turns into a village. That's the iron golem spawning area for that particular village. If all the criteria was met, iron golems would spawn in that area there. And the idea behind the switch is that if you flick the switch again, the block goes down, that invalidates those doors. But for some reason, Minecraft still considers that village to be valid. Now, it recalculates every so often. Now, this could take a couple of minutes. This could take until the chunk is actually unloaded. If you're in the spawn chunk or you don't leave the area, that could mean that the villager stays active for quite a while, which is no good really. No point in having a switch on your villager breeder if it doesn't turn your villager breeder off. As I say, it will if you leave the chunk or the chunk gets unloaded, or you go to the Nether or whatever and come back again, this will be turned off. It'll be an invalid village again, but it could take a while. As I say, it's not like a light switch. So I've developed a switch that actually works within 60 seconds because of how Minecraft because of how villagers calculate villages. So let's just invalidate this village again. So it's no longer a village. There you go, no longer a village. Put the doors back. You see, no longer a village. Brilliant. So to turn this into a switchable system that works within 60 seconds, you need to raise these doors up by 4 blocks. So we need to just get rid of those and make this platform 4 blocks higher. You need to put the block in the middle to make it a valid village. And then stick in your doors. Now, the way this works, and the way this works within 60 seconds and the other one didn't, is that village is always valid. But that villager is out of the range of the village. So the doors, even though the doors are valid, they're not being recognized by a villager. So in order to turn this into a village, we need to flick the switch. That pushes the villager up by 1 block. He's then in the range of the village. He's inside the village area, and the doors become validated, and so does the village. So if we flick that lever now, he pops up 1 block, and the village becomes valid. We do need to get rid of these blocks, actually. We don't want him stepping off of... He's got to stay on at that level. So if he jumps off that block onto these blocks, it'll invalidate the village again. So we'll just get rid of those. You could probably put glass around him, which is a sensible thing to do. Stare at me all you like, mister. You ain't getting out. So, as I say, that village is now valid. Now, I'm going to run this real time. So, bear with me for 60 seconds. But if I flick this switch, the villager goes down. As soon as that villager now recalculates whether he's in a village or not, which usually takes about 60 seconds, this village will turn off. Now, bear with me. Okay, so I didn't time it, but that felt like about 60 seconds, whereas the old system could take about 60 seconds, but could take up to you unloading the chunk. this will always turn off after 60 seconds, as long as that villager has got a block between his head and the bottom of the blocks that the doors stand on. Now, it also works if you've currently got yourself a villager breeder that's got a villager inside a village. This will also work with that as well. You just need to drop him down so he's at that level. So he's 3 blocks below the blocks that the doors go on. Stick him on a sticky piston, and then once you flick the lever to push the piston up, it turns the village back on again almost instantaneously. The village turns on straight away. Those guys down there, if they're fed, will start breeding, and everybody's happy. But as I say, this switch always works after 60 seconds. So when you flick the lever, you don't have to unload the chunk. You don't have to go to the nether. You don't have to worry whether or not your villager breeder is still working. 60 seconds after you flick that switch, the villager drops down. It'll turn your villager breeder off. So there you have it, everybody. That's the new switch that definitely turns off your villager breeder after 60 seconds. I hope you've enjoyed this update, everybody. If you have, please don't forget to leave it a like. And if you've really loved it, please subscribe for future tutorials. This is Frilioth, and I'm out of here.